Hey, real quick, we got an awesome guest today, man. I'm excited about this. How you doing, Coach Falla?
Good, man. I'm good. How about you?
Man, I tell you what, I feel bad I'm doing so well, man. I know some people are struggling now, but man, that's just excited to be able to do this and sit down with you and be a part of the Sacred Heart fam. What you been doing during the pandemic?
You know, trying to obey the rules. It's been good for me. And yourself. You and I spent a lot of time together here past couple of months um, on two wheels. Practicing social distancing and getting a little fitness in, and doing a little bit of chatting. So it's been good.
Yeah, man, it's a shame we couldn't figure out how to do this from the bikes, but at least we won't sound so out of breath.
Yeah, no doubt. We've had some real creative ideas. I think riding, Sacred Heart cycling team. We may put that thing into play here pretty soon.
Man, I tell you what, you do soccer in the fall and winter. I don't know when a cycling season would be, but all the soccer players could just cycle in the spring and summer, when the weather's nicer. I tell you, it is a recipe for success.
No doubt, man. We see some sights, that's for sure. Cycling. We even saw the boys there, a pack of them. There's about 10 of them. We kind of snuck up on them, but I think they were shocked to see us, and hey, we were shocked to see them as well.
It's nice to see. It's nice to see anybody, man. I've been like real chatty with I go to the gas station. I go inside just to talk to the cashier. Like, how are you doing? You doing? Yeah, just to that point, man. Well, look. So I'm talking about being creative here. You've had to be creative how long you been at Sacred Heart?
2008.
So and you've so that's wait, I gotta do the math. That's like 12 years. 13 is 12, but if you include this year, it's like that whole if it's the 2000s, the 21st century. I always get confused. So how many years were you coaching soccer? Did you start in '08 or how'd you get started and when did it start?
Started in '08. It was it was kind of crazy, man, how I got the job. The job was open. I really wasn't interested in the job because until somebody came to me. Somebody approached me about using me as a reference because he wanted to apply for the job, and I said, "Yeah, go ahead." The next thing you know, um, I got a phone call, and somebody was like, "Hey, look, man, you think you'd be interested in coaching the Sacred Heart soccer team?" I was like, "Well, let's see what we got," and here we are, man. 12 years later.
Yeah, how many titles do you have total?
Four four state championships. I've been there 8 times, so I'm at 500, man.
It's not bad. That's better than LeBron.
I hear you. Not as good as Mike.
Yeah, but nobody's as good as Mike, and that's the point. All you young bloods out there saying LeBron is better, that's just because that's who you've watched, right? I mean, he needs two hands for all those rings. Well, yeah, this year, man, I tell you what, the last 2 years especially have been awesome. I've been the actual assistant for 3 years now. So 3 South State titles, got to state 3 years in a row, won the last two. Tell you what, it's pretty awesome being part of a successful program because growing up, soccer just wasn't that popular either, and I didn't have a chance. I never had a chance to go to state, even get close. We won, if we won a playoff game in high school, it was like that was literally huge news. So it's really cool to see how things work within a successful organization.
Well, well, I can tell you this too, man. I really appreciate you coming on, and you have been a blessing. not only to me, but I know to the boys, you're very instrumental, and they respond to you, and you're kind of the you're kind of the good cop, and it allows me to be the bad guy, be the bad, the and but it's great, man. It's we've talked about this, about the just you and I have, about how I've had to kind of change my coaching style to accommodate the modern player, and and for me I was in that rut. I got stale and stagnant in my ways of coaching, and I've had to not reinvent the wheel, but to just think about and adjust some of the things that I was doing inside the program to bring it back to being on top. But with you on board and bringing in the fitness side and just your knowledge of the game, as well as I guess allowed us to be state champions, and for us to get there. It was the second time that we've gone 3 years in a row to the state championship, and I was glad that these boys had got the opportunity to win back to back, and those whole 3 years were very I guess life changing for those young kids. Back in 2018, or I guess the 17-18 season, we had lost and graduated. I say lost, but we graduated a ton of kids in 2017, and when that season started, when I guess these seniors were sophomores, man, a lot of people wrote us off, man. We were like, just, they were like, here, it's over for Sacred Heart. Somebody else will get the opportunity to win district and get to a state championship. And we flew under the radar, and it was daily just motivating those boys and letting them know that they could do it. And but we had some trying times, and you can attest to that.
Well, I know it's tough when you lose somebody like a Grant Falla. Shout out to G, Keaton Ware. Oh, Bobby Gibbs. Man, that's like that. Seriously, that whole crew is, that
Bo
once
Wilkins,
they,
yeah.
Bo Wilkins. Yeah. Yeah, man, when they were, when they left, it's kind of like, man, you have to, that's the nature of high school sports, though. It's not professional. It's not like you can't hold on to a player more than 4 years. That's not, you have to constantly like reinvent, and I think I appreciate your kind words about me coaching. I think really it's just, I came in as more of a strength and conditioning coach, and those boys just didn't want, a 30-something year old coach being fitter than them, because you can't lose in a race to your coach. That's not cool. And so they definitely stepped it up. I think, to your point, you have to constantly evolve at any level, though, because the game constantly changes. If once you get stuck in a certain pattern, everybody, that's human nature. Everybody gets stuck into a certain pattern, especially if they've seen success. But you look at like a Jose Mourinho, that guy's having to really rethink how he coaches. And honestly, I don't necessarily think it's the defensive tactics that he uses. I do just think it's more how he interacts with humans. And that's like more prevalent, and that's in everybody's minds right now. How do I interact with other people, during this time of social distancing? I've really been thinking about, okay, how do I come across when I speak to somebody? If I'm being enthusiastic, or if I feel enthusiastic about something, does it come across as like, intimidating? Does it come across as exciting the way I want it to? I've definitely done a lot of soul searching in the last, whatever, 2 months or something like that. So
It's it is, man. It's and like, and I keep going back to, we've talked about it, but you have to be creative, and you have to be a student of the game. And I tell all the coaches that that come through Sacred Heart is, be a student of the game, because you have to be. If you want to be successful at your trade, man, you have to work at it, learn tactics, learn some things that work for you, and the most important thing is being aware and being knowing that every player you have has a different personality, and whatever you have to figure out what makes each and every one of those guys go. What motivates them. I can't coach you the same way I coach somebody else. And a lot of times it's we forget that these sports are an outlet for these kids. Sometimes it may be that they have goals and dreams to play at the next level. It may be that these kids play because they don't want to go home, because they don't know what it's like. We don't know what it's like inside the walls of their home. They're using this as a platform to stay away, because they know when they go home, it's fixing to be real. It's a completely different atmosphere that they don't like. So every kid has a story. Every kid has a way to motivate. So and I think we've done a good job of that. And just some of the things that we incorporate in in our day-to-day practice. I think is a testament to that.
Well, and don't sleep on the talent at the school. Like, for the size of our school, the amount of the amount of talent, just talent, is kind of insane. Like, I would have killed to play on a team. I wouldn't actually kill. I wouldn't do that. That's one of the commandments. But you know what I mean? I would have loved to play on a team like that, to have a program like this where, and I talked about it with Flatto on an earlier episode. Like, man, the fact that people that don't even play soccer talk about playing FIFA at school, we're going like, man, I used to get teased for that. Like, oh, you like soccer? That's not communist kickball was one of the really fun names people at school used to call soccer. So, man, just like the amount of talent and skill you have on, especially this last senior class, man, they were that. You aren't going to see many groups of humans like that in your lifetime. I don't care what you're doing. They worked so well together as a team.
Look, that talent, the talent level that this senior class displayed was, they were constantly displaying that talent. Since they were sophomores, they have truly. They will go down as one of the top teams that I know I've ever coached. To see those little kids, the Bennett Gibsons, the Garrett Bells, when they were young. Funny story is I'll tell a quick story about Garrett Bell. I remember when Garrett was that young pup, and he was hitting puberty, and he had that little caterpillar under his nose. He was needing to shave for the first time, and what a great player to have, man, and to see his development from his sophomore year to now is truly remarkable, and I use Garrett as I really point that out, because he was really a leader, and when Heath Flatto left after his sophomore year, it was kind of funny, because I had a conversation with Carrie Bell, Garrett's mom, and I said Garrett will be that leader. He'll step right on into that role, and she just kind of looked at me, and she just kind of shook her head like, that's not his personality. I said, you watch and see. And sure enough, he took that thing. He took the bull by the horns and ran with it. Garrett Bell he was one of the best for sure. And he will do Jones. He will do wonderful things at Jones. That is for sure. And so will all of them. But But those guys, man, the Bennett Gibsons, what a clown. He is I will miss Bennett and being able to because Bennett was if he wasn't leaving the car running with the windshield wipers on or running over garbage cans, he was always making me laugh. That's not too hard to do, but yeah, those guys yeah.
Bennett, man. Well, okay, back to Garrett Bell though. That guy at this group is pretty selfless. That guy was the ultimate team player this year. If you needed a center back, he was your Virgil van Dijk. I don't like Liverpool, so it hurts me to say this, but, you're that good, Garrett. I'll throw out Liverpool just for you, buddy. I mean, if you needed him to play center mid, I mean, I'd say Bennett Gibson. I know he's a City fan, so he'll like this. He was more of a Kevin De Bruyne. Like, Bennett had some games this year where he did some skillful things where I was like, where'd you learn that? Like, what? That was, just like little things that, paying attention to small details where not a lot of players do that. All right, and that's really going to serve him well. Like some of the turns he'd have, like balls in the air, taking it down, like first touch, turning, away from pressure. It's just like, okay, guys, that's really impressive. But Garrett Bell, though, I think most selfless player of the year. And to go from scoring the winning penalty in state last year, his junior year, and then to say, okay, I'll play whatever position you need without an ego, like never complaining about being out of position, or would give suggestions, which I mean he should. You should be proactive and say, hey, I could do something if you push me up a little bit further. Tell him like, hey, this is the reasoning why we have you here. Like, man, to be that understanding at that age, in any activity, any walk of life, that's going to serve him incredibly well.
Yeah, no doubt. He is gonna, like I said, the next chapter in his soccer career is gonna be pretty special. I think he'll only get better, as will everybody else. Bennett Gibson as well. Heath Hogan. I mean, wow, how about Heath Hogan? Speaking of sacrifice, that guy that has sacrificed his body numerous times. And how he got up and walked away, I have no idea.
Heho's given a few brain cells for the cause. Like, that man, he's like, oh, is that a wall? Do you want me to run through that wall over there for you? I mean, sure, and then come back, like, what else? What else do you need me to do? Like, yeah.
Do you remember his junior year when he got, I mean, he probably still don't know where he is. He got the last play, the corner kick, and he stepped in there 10 yards away and took it to the face and knocked him out. Remember?
And, well, and in America where you can't head the ball until you're like 30, I don't understand that rule. But he's like the only guy who's just like taking it to the dome. Like, no, and we were having trouble. His junior year, we were having trouble defending set pieces. So him actually, like between him and Garrett Bell, they won that game for us. Like, yeah. And Heho, man, I tell you what, we talk about how they are as players, and people think about them as players because they see them playing a game. I get it, right? But it's a credit to you where in practice we talk more about the type of person you're going to be. Because you got to be – it doesn't matter. If you go pro and you're like a Ryan Giggs and play into your 40s and make tons of money doing it, good job. You still – the majority of your life will be as a former player, not a player. You have to be like a decent person, And Heho's one of those guys like – He reminds me of my family members in Louisiana. He's just got like – he's just a cool dude. It's hard to describe, but he's just a cool dude.
And he knows he's cool or thinks he's cool.
He's cool. The dad sneakers are coming back in. He's on the forefront. He might catch some flack every once in a while, but that's it. The more clout you have, the more flack you're gonna get, you know. So that's cool. Hee ho, do you, bud? You got it. Yeah. Man, what were some of our other seniors? Jacob Gallagher, that guy. Okay,
Hey,
didn't
the
want to.
funniest thing, a lot of people don't know this about Gallagher. Every game, you would hear him say, "Man, look how big that guy is." He never realized like he's the biggest kid on the field every time, and he'd always say, "Man, look how big that kid is." It's like, Gallagher, you're 6'6".
Yeah. Oh, and then like when he had that eureka moment, we did all the headers exercises or whatever, and man, like next game, he's like, he looked like a gazelle, just winning headers. Like, man, I mean, yeah, when he figures out how strong he is, my gosh, I'm not gonna mess with him. I don't want a piece of that. No, thank you. Hard pass. But yeah, Gala, man, way to step, way to step in to center back. Like that back four played so many different positions. You know, you have Garrett Bell as center back sometimes, have Gallagher as center back sometimes. You have Felix, a.k.a. Sergio Ramos, right, playing center back, right back. You know, they moved around a lot. You had Earl, played a lot of left back. Well, he actually played a lot of right back. And then, of course, you got old Riley, old Ricky Bobby. But no, dude, they all played. That's what I mean. They're so selfless. Like there's no complaining about where you were. Like I wasn't that nice in high school, you know. I'd like to think I was respectful, but I wasn't that nice, which is so refreshing. That's what I mean. These guys are a special group of guys, you know. Can't wait to see what they do next.
Yeah, they are nice, and we've talked about it before. You know, they're definitely they're calloused now. They still had a lot of Germ-X and Neutrogena on their hands before. You know, they were pretty soft, and they're callous, man. They're tough, but they're still nice. They're very nice. They're a nice bunch of kids, you know.
Well, there's nothing wrong with trying to look nice. I mean, hey, you got to look good, feel good, play good. You know, I totally get that. Well, and we had talked about it. Like it never happened, but getting those guys in a dojo or just like, hey guys, y'all need to box and just see, and see that like the conflict that you perceive in a game is nothing compared to what many people deal with on a daily basis, you know, and they figured that out on their own. That's the other thing too, is where younger generations get, they get so much heat for being soft, this, that, and other. It's like, well, they got to figure it out on their own though, you know. They figured it out on their own through the season, understanding what toughness is. I mean, prime example, Painter, like that dude. He's a cerebral guy, right? He likes to think about scenarios, this, that, and other. When we get to the state championship, it's okay if you make mistakes. That guy made the best save I've ever seen in person, like on floor level. I mean, I've seen Premier League games. This guy, that save he had, that reaction save, the guys on the breakaway. I mean, we almost gave up the title because of that. And he rose to the occasion and showed how tough he actually is, man. Like stuff like that, you go, okay, this is why I like coaching. This right here, you know.
Yeah, and he and Painter was key, man. And Painter has been key for years. He put 3 good years in, brother. That is for sure. Kudos to him and his toughness, man. He even had his teeth knocked out, man. It's still going. I still wish he would have put some gold teeth in, but he still looks good, you know.
Yeah, well, we're still working on getting state championship rings. I know, the other things have taken precedent, but maybe he just needs to get a state championship grill. Like, let's be real, Painter. Get a grill, dude. Quit. You're not a traditional guy. You don't need a traditional ring. Get a grill, a chain. I mean, live your life. He's going to play at the next level as well, which I'm excited to see what. Man, you got how many players we have going to play at at college?
This is the most ever. This is the most that we've ever had, and really and truly, let's see, we have Painter, we have Heho, Garrett Bell, Heath Fletto, Bennett Gibson. That's five. We missing anybody? I think that's five. Um,
I think Felix was kind of on the fence. I'm not sure if but he could do it if he wanted to.
every one of my seniors could have done it. Felix could have did it. Um, Gallagher, Earl could have as well if I think if he really wanted to. So we really and truly could have had um, eight go this year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's always I tell you what, man, best I think I wouldn't say the best times of my life. I'd say the last 3 years have been the best times of my life. But second to that would be getting to play college soccer, man. That's such a special thing. That's something Gabby's getting to do at East Central next year. It's something Grant's gotten to do at MC. I mean, I'm sure Grant will tell you those are the people you're gonna roll with. High school friends for sure, but then the people you go through something with at the college level, like collegiate level, is that's you can't buy that experience. I never pledged a fraternity because I was like, man, my fraternity is. There's no way I could be tighter with another group of humans than the people I played soccer with. It's not possible.
Right, right. And it's funny because he is one of his roommates now in college is actually a Nick Gibson. So they had the opportunity to play together here at Sacred Heart, and then Nick went to Jones. He and Davis and Larry um, went to Jones, and they played together. And so Nick, after his 2 years at Jones, went to MC, and it's funny because those guys are best buds now. So he's they getting to spend a lot of their high school and collegiate career together. So I know they enjoy it.
Oh yeah, man. Nothing beats that. Nothing beats that. But man, what are we gonna do for next season? Now,
And that's as much as we want to start right now. I'd love to start now. Get some guys together, and you talk about those seniors, but man, the group of boys that we had, even if you want to call them our futures, which is what we do call them, those guys played off off the chain as well. They came in. Zachary Reinhardt, your Mateos, we had Will McLean, man, the season is going to be, this up and coming season will be interesting as well. I'm looking forward to that. Some more young guys, and hopefully we can make another run at it. I think the beauty of we always say it, we want to bring in everybody that's part of the team. We try to keep them around each and every day, just so they can get acclimated to that atmosphere. Let them know what it's about and what it takes, and let them see the hard work, and a lot of that pays off, in the season. I mean, if you really want to break down those guys, their progression, a lot of those younger guys really progress throughout the year, and they really set themselves up for success when it's their turn. When they get that opportunity, and it really is a testament to their hard work and their want to. I think a lot of people just they want to wear the jersey, but they don't put the hard work in, and the hard work and dedication, and some of those younger ones, they really put that want to. They want to come in and make an impact into the program and into the school. And They know our rules about, student first, athlete second. And if you look at their grades, man, that really, they really do that. We have, you know, very seldom do we have student athletes who get themselves in academic trouble. So, kudos to all the players, man. It's going to be another exciting year coming up. Our up and coming year is going to be very exciting, and hopefully we can get together this summer and get after it for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see Bubby, Squirrel, Ashton Ware. These got 87 nicknames. I'm sure he'll have some more next year. He needs to get. We're gonna get him. We got to get him. We got to get him some of those shin guards with the ankle guards, because man, he had a season. That strike against St. Pat's, like, I lost it. I haven't celebrated a goal. I haven't celebrated many goals like that ever. And yeah, we got an exciting young team. It was cool when we played Summerall when a lot of the guys were gone for March for Life, and you got to see what next year looked like. We had one senior. It was Ewan, played in goal, which should have been playing there the whole time. Baseball star, like he can catch. I mean, a soccer ball is easy to catch. If you can catch a baseball, you can catch us. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. So he did a great job. I mean, this whole team, this whole situation, the culture is so great. You have people who are just like you said, that they're worried about their grades. They should be. That's why they're here. They're here to be good students, to set themselves up for the next level. And if you get to play a sport at the next level, that's great. But I mean, you can't play a sport if you can't make it into the school. So you got to work on the grades. But you got somebody like a Breezy. Let's talk about Breezy for a second. Breezy is one of the brightest, souls you'll ever meet. That guy was just like, man, if you're feeling bad and you need somebody to just laugh and pick you up, Breezy's that guy, man. What an awesome dude.
Does Breezy laugh?
Breezy laughs. I've seen him frown twice, and both times it was a sarcastic frown, and it was followed immediately by, about 10 minutes of laughter.
Hey, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm going to tell you real quick. Breezy is the only player I know that dislocated his shoulder running onto the field during the state championship game. He fell and running onto the field and dislocated his shoulder. True story. He'll tell you.
And he still played. He still played. He's tough too. Yeah, what a great group. Yeah, the futures, because I don't like saying junior varsity. I don't like the connotation. That's a term that we got rid of. It's the future varsity, because that's what it is. You have to think of, especially when you're younger, you have to think about what you're going to do when you get into that position. We always say when you train, you're at the complex, imagine the stadium's filled. All the seats are sold out, because that's going to happen eventually. If you aren't preparing for that, getting to South State and getting to state, that's one of the reasons I think the boys did so well, is because they were always thinking about, maybe this is a small game, there's just a few people here. They were thinking about the future, so that whenever you actually get some success, it's not surprising to you. It's like this is supposed to happen. This is expected, and that's one of those special things about the culture here that you don't get many other places.
Yeah, that's right. And those kids know that. When they sign up, they know what's fixing to happen. And a lot of times it's their want to as well. It's their want to succeed. It's their want to be in an atmosphere that is comforting. And I think that's what Sacred Heart Soccer is about. It's a very comforting atmosphere. It's a very warm atmosphere, and The and we just so happen to win. We've won, and I think that's just the bonus. That's the bonus side, and I think we do a good job of preparing these kids for the real world. And we've talked about it before. Outside these walls, the real world doesn't sleep. So we let them know that, and we prepare them for that. It's been great, man. It's been a great season. It's been a great 3 years, I know, for these boys, for these seniors, and they will truly be missed. They will go down as like I said, one of the top 3 all-time best teams. That is for sure. Kudos to those boys, man. They worked hard. They worked hard for a long time, and hopefully pretty soon those rings will be in, and you'll be able to put wear your trophy on a daily basis, man, for sure.
Yeah, we'll get those rings and Painter's Grill, and we'll be good to go. We'll be good.
and Felix a haircut.
I think he cut it.
He didn't get his money's worth. He needs to do it again.
Come on, Felix, get the fade like me. We can match. It'll be cool, man. It's not lame. It'd be cool. Come on, dude. Yeah, dude. What an awesome group. What an awesome season. Something you can always you can't take that away from them, You're a champion back to back, Rest of your life. Yeah. And the Clarkdale game, for real. Just for a second, a moment of silence for the Clarkdale game. That was ridiculous. Like Heath Flatto was sick. It was the Michael Jordan flu game. Dude played with the flu, and the small field, and I'm not gonna speak out of school, but there were calls that I didn't agree with nor understand, nor will I ever agree with, nor ever understand. Just like, you know what I mean? Energy was high, big energy, man, and those boys came through. Kept it together better than most people there,
Yeah, it was good to have Flatto back, man. I can tell you. I hope the feeling was mutual. I know I missed him when he left for his junior year. Just having him around, his work ethic and his work rate is second to none. I'm gonna tell you, he is. It was funny on we laughed about several things. We're the only program I know that wins the state championship and lose your best players. But to have Fletto come back was pretty good. He was the competition level rose again. It came back to all-time high when he came back in. I know on Manchester Mondays, you could just see that competition of I am not gonna finish second today, it was great. To complete the whole Man U test, we had I think it was 3 or 4 that first week, and it grew to 8 to 12 on some days. That was very impressive, and I think a lot of that is because of the competition level that was brought back to the team when he came back on board. Happy to have him. Happy for him to go out on top, and he's going to the University of Alabama, Birmingham, to continue his run at playing, and I think he'll do fantastic things there at UAB, and you can't question his work rate because he puts in his time. That is for sure, and it's going to be a pleasure to watch.
Oh yeah, with the Man U test, he had Mateo would get close to. In the second or third week, we get close to finishing. I believe he got to level 20. For those of you who don't know what the Man U test is, you run an entire football field length. You do it in a minute. You have, what is it? I got to think about it now. It's 25 seconds to get down, 35 to get back. You do that 10 times in a row, so that's level 10. Then after that, so level 11, you have 24 seconds to get down. You have 36 to get back. Then 23 to get down, 37 to get back, so on and so forth. So the last one, at level 20, you have to get down the whole field in 15 seconds and back in 45. I mean, it's one of those, like, there's a little bit of sprinting involved, but it's endurance. You know, I did it with them a couple of times, and I think, you know, that'll speak to the competition there. It's like, hey, I want to get in, and then I do it with them, you know, and they go like, well, I don't want to get beat by this guy. I mean, he's got gray hairs already. Like, I can't have that. The girls are watching. None of that, you know. But man, that whole, like, having young kids do that, you know, Mateo's going into 9th grade. Man, I don't think I could have done that at that age. You know, you had all 3 Gallaghers were always there at the end. You know, just like, man, impressive, like really impressive.
Yeah, the Gallaghers can run, man. I can tell you. Wow, they're very impressive on that.
That's a fast family. But yeah, man. So what you gonna do the rest of this summer? This is the summer edition. So we're wrapping up the soccer season, you know. But this is our first summertime episode. What you got? You got anything planned?
Man, just, you know, do some work here, do some work at the fields. Hopefully you and I can keep cycling. I may have to change our time, either early in the morning, late in the evening, because I know middays, you know, we will get our sweat on for sure. But just kind of wait and see. You know, I know Gracie's her ECNL team, they're, I think, finished in the top 4, so they'll be going to the national playoffs. I think that'll be in Greensboro, North Carolina, if that thing is still on go. I think she has some other stuff going on. I know for underclassmen, the recruiting process is fixing to get back, so I'm sure we'll be busy with that, making some unofficial visits with her. I know Gabby starts back at East Central. I know she is looking forward to that. She's been working hard, and you know, so that's an exciting chapter that's fixing to open up in her life and in our lives. And Grant, he's just fixing to graduate college as well, and fixing to I know he's doing his internship today. Matter of fact, he started today in Monroe, Louisiana, and so got a lot going on at the Falla house, man. But I'm sure it'll be another busy summer, which is good. But that's it, man. That's all we got rolling.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, I know Gabby too has been keeping up with all the preseason fitness for East Central, and might be is becoming a fitness influencer, possibly starting a vlog. You know, I'm putting it out there, Gabby. You know, it's out there in the universe. Add that to your resume. You know, getting to share like what those workouts are. That's going to be really cool and really good to see. For, you know, it'd be great for the girls to see a teammate who's graduated, moved on, get to actually see what it looks like to play in college, what the schedule's like. It'll be good. It'll be good for boys and girls. It'll be good for everybody. But I know people like to be able to continue to see her perform regardless of their location. So that's really exciting. But man, I really appreciate you sitting down, taking the time, man. We'll have to get on the bike. You got to go early, man. It's too hot midday now. You know, I think summertime is here. You got to go early. So if you're working out, don't work out in the middle of the day. It's not safe. Don't do that. So, all right, Joe, I appreciate you. Hey, let me know when we want to start the only soccer podcast. Real quick. Keep your eye out for Real Quick. We'll have hats, t-shirts, all that. All right, man. Appreciate. Yeah. That was